Each time that you win, it takes away a little bit of that hunger, which is a challenge within itself. It's a battle within your mind to find a challenge to go to that same place that you've been 5 times before, and that's hard.
I done been in bad situations, now a nigga up now. Plenty times I thought I wouldn't make it, life isn't so tough now. I just stood tall with them, hitting at my knees. I can only thank God for him choosing to save me. Eating bacon with the grits, my breakfast end up doing the same shit. I done been in bad situations, now a nigga up now. Plenty times I thought I wouldn't make it, life isn't so tough now. I just stood tall with them, hitting at my knees. I can only thank God for him choosing to save me.
Welcome back to the channel. It's a few weeks since the last video, which was obviously Dubai. Thank you to everyone that tuned into that. Once again, people seem to enjoy seeing that contrast of bodybuilding and going after my goals, and then obviously normal life coming back in, and I think I showed that quite well. There's people out there that portray themselves as being like hardcore and dedicated and motivated 24/7, 365, which is fine, I get it. But behind closed doors, I'm sure they are doing similar things, and I think it would probably help them out in terms of whether they're a coach or whether they're trying to build something, if they were to show what is actually going on behind closed doors, like real life stuff, because it just makes you more relatable. Not that I'm putting this content out to make myself more relatable, I'm just showing you what I'm doing. But I think, some people could take something from that. But yeah, anyway, thank you to everyone that tuned into it. We still have the Dubai blues. Carla's been looking at holidays to Dubai already, and we've only been back 2 weeks, so it is what it is. But we've got a family holiday now in like 10 weeks, something like that, to Spain. So I'm not letting myself get too carried away with the post-show food. This is the best I've ever been, actually, in terms of the post-show process, the rebound, whatever you want to call it. I guess we could probably theme this video around like how to manage a rebound. And I think it's one of those things, the more times you do a prep, the better you get at dealing with like the post-show, like binges, cravings, structure in terms of food, feeling a little bit lost. There's a lot of people out there that have done their first run of shows this year, and I've spoke to a few people and they're struggling, and I've been there. And that's not to say like I don't have my struggles right now in terms of like craving certain foods, but it's just a case of like taking out the trigger foods when you're in this position as much as it is when you're on prep. There's a reason why those foods that, if you have one, you'll have fucking 30 of them. Like a custard cream biscuit, for instance, with me, if I have one, the pack will be gone in 10 minutes. There's a reason that's not in on prep, and that's also a reason they're not currently in the fridge, because I will go to town on them. So it's one of those things, you just got to manage it, and the more you do, the better you get at it. So we'll talk about the rebound in this video. I'm also training today. I've got back with a little bit of a top up on arms as well. In terms of like my training right now, it's pretty much back to where it was like 6 to 8 weeks pre-show. Obviously with the peak weeks and everything, and body fat being as low as it was, your training kind of dies off. It gets to a point where you fly in and then it just drops off the back end. It is what it is. But we're back now. There's a few movements that I've been doing and I'm thinking, fucking hell, pretty strong on this in comparison to where I was previously. So very happy. Take you through the back session and talk about like what I'm doing food wise, cardio wise, everything around trying to not make myself become a fat bastard. So enjoy the video. training wise, post show, it shouldn't really change that much. You should already be doing the majority of things you should be doing to build your physique. Obviously, when you come down body fat wise, you're going to see certain weaknesses that you need to bring up, but for the most part, you should be already doing it. And that's why you see so many people not making progress, because they're switching and swapping training methods, styles, volume, like everything, every couple of weeks. I even see personal trainers and coaches doing it. They'll go 2 or 3 weeks doing high volume shit, plastering all over their social media. Then the next minute they're doing 2 or 3 weeks of heavy strength compound movements. And then another 3 weeks goes by and then they're doing another training style. And they look the same as they've done 4 years ago. So this is pretty much the same session I've been doing for the last 2 years pretty much. Lat isolation movement, single arm. We'll go into some heavy rows. We'll do some more single arm lat rows isolation, and obviously pull down stuff. So it's pretty much the same as what we've been doing. Key thing with the rebound is taking the habits that you build up during a prep setting into the off season. You know, even simple things like your cardio, your steps, those habits you build up, because you do build them up over like a 16-20 week period in a prep phase. When you transition into off season, it's very easy to kind of let that slip and fuck them off basically. But yeah, you've got to take those habits into the off-season setting, especially this initial phase, because if you lose it in the first 6-8 weeks of your rebound or your health phase, it's very hard to kind of implement those once they're gone. Whereas if you've done prep, any kind of diet phase for 16-20 weeks, they're already there. Continue them on for that 6 to 8 weeks, and by the time you've out of your health phase and you're into your off season, you're pushing up, those things are already there, so it's not going to be so foreign to actually start bringing those things in. So take the habits you build up in prep into your off season. Another big one for the rebound is don't be too fixated on your body weight, and that's both ends of the spectrum in terms of getting the weight up really quickly and also being too obsessed with the weight going up from prep. Obviously you've worked so hard to get so lean, it's scary to see that weight going back up, but allow it to happen organically, obviously in a controlled manner. But then other people will, we're on a rebound, we need to get our weight up, and they'll just scale the weight up and then they'll end up holding a bunch of water, which is definitely not the way to go as well. So just kind of let it rise but keep it controlled. And that's also like for people on the outside looking at these guys on the rebound like myself as well. People will see this size increase on me from prep and they'll automatically assume things have been slammed up to the roof, if you know what I mean, in terms of super subs. I'm actually on the lowest I've been all year now. A lot lower than most people that you see walking around the gym. So it's food. So on prep, obviously, as food is coming lower, the PEDs go higher. After prep, in this phase, food goes higher, PEDs come lower. So it's all smoke and mirrors. It's not, you know, Jay's ramping up the food, ramping up the performance enhancing drugs and getting some size on. It's literally just the body doing what the body does.
Instead of them arms forwards. Yeah, the other day, that's too close to my knees. But today, I thought that's putting way too much pressure. You know, so that's almost like you wanted to do a deadlift. That's too far heavy.
And for me, it's just, you know, waking up every day, you know, being grateful to God. You know, I know it's because of Him. You know, this.
And the only.
Oh, no, this whole section got to be in Spanish, Laura. This whole section got to be in Spanish.
No, but I just wanted to talk to you about your travels. Like, where did that take you? Because you've gone. I feel like one day you're like, I'm just gonna do whatever the hell I want to do, whatever makes me happy.
Absolutely.
But when you dove into your actual travels.
Post-workout done. Same food, surprisingly. 100 grams cream of rice, 50 grams of the vegan protein, 150 berries and 20 grams of dark chocolate. This is a trigger. So we try and keep this out as much as possible, because if I put a spoon in this tub, I will just keep going and going. And that's one thing I want to talk about in terms of goals, right? So I've obviously reached a massive milestone. It was the 10-year thing. Huge goal of mine to reach the 10-year transformation. And you get to that point, and what I seem to get a lot of on social media or even just conversations in person with people is, oh, so you're done now? Are you just chilling now? It's like, nah. It's like, well, I've put 10 years of graft and dedication into building my physique and being zoned in on all that just to throw it all away and move on to the next thing. Yes, there are other goals. Yes, there's more things that I want to do outside of this. But that doesn't mean to say that I'm just going to throw all this away. So when you're setting yourself goals, make sure that once you hit that goal, even leading up to hitting that goal, you've got other things in your mind to continue that and progress that goal into the next one, you know, milestones. I've said baby steps a lot over the years, and every milestone is like a baby step. You know, you get to this one, you get to this one, you get to this one, and then before you know, you're 10 years deep and you're looking back at all these baby steps or milestones, and you've achieved all this. but it doesn't happen overnight, you know. I just had a conversation at the back end of that session with one of the boys in the gym about, he was saying how large I was looking, the Rebound's treating you well. And he was like, what was you when you did that first like show effort in 2016? I was 165, but the original weight that I got down to like 10 years ago was like 150, 155. So when you're looking at that in terms of body weight, where I'm at now and where I was then, I'm like, it's like 80 pounds. 80 pounds, not of pure muscle, obviously there's some body fat on me now, but that doesn't come overnight. That's many years and many milestones and many mini goals that I've set myself to get to this point. People want that quick fix these days, unfortunately, and it doesn't happen like that. Very rare you're going to get an opportunity where you can just overnight go from point A, not even to point B, to fucking point F. You know, jump all these steps. It doesn't happen. But very rarely it happens. It's like a lottery win. So there we go. But yeah, in terms of the rebound, I'm not sure if I said this at the beginning, food-wise at the moment, I'm sitting at around about 4,000 calories a day on training days, dropping that down a little bit on rest days when they happen, in terms of rest days, because I'm kind of freestyling my training a little bit. So my rest days have actually become like arm days, and I will drop my food a little bit on that just to give my body a little bit of rest digestion-wise, and obviously have a little bit of a deficit across the week in terms of how many calories I'm putting in. But yeah, 4,000 training days, about 3.5, 3 rest days, excusez-moi, and then off-plan meals 2 a week. I did one last night, and what I'll do when I do an off-plan meal is I'll pull back on a little bit of food, so I'll have 4 meals instead of 6, and then I'll go in on my off-plan meal, whatever that may be. Last night I had McDonald's. People have said, why are you choosing McDonald's as your off-plan meal? Where's the Five Guys? Five Guys is like fucking 45 minutes down in Cardiff. I'm not going to plan my day just to go get that. So I'm quite happy going to McDonald's, which is 30 seconds at the bottom of my street. And I went for the Hat Trick Burger, which is a special burger at the minute. 2 mayo chickens, 6 chicken nuggets, large fries, large Sprite Zero, and 2 chocolate cookies. So that was my off-plan meal. So obviously I pulled back on calories from meal 5 and 6 and put that in. Didn't track that obviously. And I woke up this morning exactly the same weight as I did yesterday, and that's kind of how I'm gauging it. Keeping an eye on things. The relationship with me and Carl at the moment is, he knows I'm just doing my own thing, although when it comes to stepping things up a little bit, he's obviously going to be the person that takes hold of the reins. Seen a little bit on social media today, more people that have done shows this year, and all of a sudden they've left their coaches, even though they had awesome results with those coaches. I just don't get it. How would you expect a coach to learn your body and take you to the level that you want to get to when you're not giving them the chance? Not that I'm saying that about Carl, because we've smashed every single season that we've done. 3rd season done and dusted this year. So people are, again, it's shortcuts. People are just looking for the next quick fix, and it doesn't happen. You've got to give everything time. So there we go. That's a wrap on the Rebound chat. Beautiful Struggle podcast dropped yesterday with James Hollinshead, so go and check that out. I'll put a link in the description. If you're not familiar with the podcast, I'm doing 2, 3, maybe 4 a month at the moment, varying between in-studio podcasts and online as well on Zoom. So yeah, the Hollinshead episode I'm very excited to release. Obviously it's not out when I'm recording this video, but it'll be out by the time this one drops on Monday morning. So it's 2 hours long, very deep chats, good bit of banter as well, and James is a solid one, so check that out. And thank you for all the support, whether that be with Magic Eye Media, with the Beautiful Struggle podcast, with my own bodybuilding shenanigans, whatever that may be. So thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next episode. Peace.